The lights are dim, the windmill is spinning, and we are back again, baby.
That's right. Welcome to Secrets in the Elephant Room, where we talk about life, love, and all the moves in between.
So sit back, grab a moving box, or you know what, just hydrate with some water. And let's get into it.
As you guys know, my name is Payton.
And I'm Delaney.
And this week's elephant is moving out on your own. Living by yourself, baby.
Pretty much we're here, now what?
Yeah. We're here now. What do you do with yourself now that you're alone in a home? No, nobody else.
This is a great segue. Reason why this is a very good parent episode. Well, one, obviously me and Payton live alone. But Payton just moved!
I moved across the country, baby.
Yeah.
Officially in Washington.
Washington. Gonna live out her 50 Shades of Grey moment.
Oh my god, they want it so bad for me.
Honestly, doesn't the after movie also take place? But we don't want that. We want 50 Shades of Grey.
Talked about my hatred for the after films.
But Hardin Scott is also rich. But his dad has a publishing company.
It's so... Okay, that's one thing that I hate about books. Can we
What's
talk
that?
about that real quick?
Yeah,
Is
bring
that,
it.
like, most of the romantic female leads are women in literature fields just because those are the women writing the books.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, boring. Maybe learn about something else. Do your research. Maybe I'm going to sit around and write a book about a woman in sales just for Delaney.
I'll be honest, the only times I catch other career paths is if it's smut. So, like, an example, enemies to lovers in corporate. They're usually doing some, corporate competition, either going after a promotion, whatever. That's corporate. Or like racing ones, right? So like they're a racer in F1 or something, or they're a mechanic and they're like loved with a racer and like all that stuff. Like that's the only time I ever see, honestly, books like that in a different career. But I also read a lot of fantasy, so it's not like I ever try to branch out. But like, yeah.
Yeah, but I just hate that like all the big books, like After and 50 Shades, it's like, I don't care about girls in literature. I'm a girl in literature, and I still don't give a shit about them. They make bad decisions. I know.
I think everyone makes bad decisions, even if you were in sales versus publishing.
They end up in toxic relationships, and I don't need to be believing that trope.
You are a sucker for enemies to lovers, so.
Yes. But anyway, that's not the point of what we're talking about today. No. Today, we are going to be talking about what it's like moving out on your own for the first time, figuring out all the little intricacies that go along with it, because I literally just packed up my whole life into boxes, move across the country, and when my parents left, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional.
That's
I was
normal.
like, damn. Well, they helped me so much in the move, but I also was getting so frustrated with them. I was like, get out of my space. But I was also like, please don't leave.
Yeah, I feel that way every time my dad or Hannah, really the big one's my dad. Like if my dad comes up and it's just me and him, because he helped me, well, I actually did a lot of moving for this apartment, and then he really helped me on my last day because I had bigger furniture to move. But like after we literally, I have this like core memory of like me and my dad sitting in whatever chairs I had, sitting on this cardboard, like with this cardboard box as our table, and we're eating Burger King because that was the only thing that was open. And it was just so funny. But yeah, it's always hard after initial time every time, parents leave. But I also feel like it gets easier over time. Like the homesick feeling, definitely like when I was a freshman in college, I was pretty homesick. I wanted to go see my family, all that stuff. But comparing that to where I am now, I don't, it's such a weird natural phenomenon, I feel like, in your brain that you just like appreciate your own space and like your own living. So like it does happen eventually where it's easier, but I would say it's always hard every time.
I'm going to be so honest. I've been living with my parents for the last 2 years since I graduated college, just because my initial plans after finishing college had changed, and I was in a panic. I was supposed to have an apartment that fell through. I was supposed to be moving to, I'll just say, Des Moines. I was supposed to be in the largest city in Iowa, and everything just kind of fell through and fell out, so I moved back to mine and Delaney's hometown, and I love my parents. And that's a running joke now with all my friends, is that I have to preface with that anytime I talk about my parents. I love them. They're amazing parents. They are so helpful and so supportive of everything I want to do. But thank fuck I'm no longer living with them. Just because it was not great on my mental health being back in... I was literally reverting back to, like, high school. Like, I had just finished college, and I was back living in my high school bedroom. I was working at my high school that Delaney and I graduated from, and I was like, I'm happy, but this cannot be forever. I love my parents, but it's so nice to have my own space.
Honestly, it so is. And it is so bizarre too, because you'll get into your own routines and like of how you eat, what you do on it, like how you unwind, all this stuff. And it's almost, you get ripped out of their world, and then when you go back and visit, you're like, man, like obviously you miss the conversation, you miss the people, but like the night and day difference, you're like, man, I wish I was back in my apartment in my own bed, or like, yeah, man, I wish I was like cooking for me right now, or like I wish I had my routine going right now, and this is just like throwing me off. But yeah, it's definitely, it's bizarre, but like I love it. Like I have loved living on my own thus far with just me and Chili. Like I have a really nice apartment. I've been living on my own now, so like me and Payton are kind of like opposite ends of the spectrum, where like I've now officially it's been over a year now since I've been living on my own. And at first it was definitely really hard. My transition was a little easier on the friends point, like aspect, because I had friends still in college, and my college wasn't that far away. So, like, I still had an anchor, but I also wanted to move away from that anchor, because I feel like not only does your living change, but your mindset and what you prioritize changes so much. Mm-hmm. Like, you just don't want to go out all the time. You would rather spend quality time with friends, or go out for drinks at a dinner, or, like something that sparks conversation, or go do an activity, but... It's just like those differences can be hard, but also I feel like it's good for like growing.
All right. Sharing moving stories. Delaney has some real crazy ones.
Oh my god, which fucking one? All right, we could go. Freshman year was whatever. It was typical freshman year moving. I would say like my first moving experience was so bad. I was moving, this was my sophomore year of college, and I was moving into a 4-bedroom apartment, and I just kept, when you just have so many bad things happen to you, you just feel like this is not meant to be. That is exactly what happened on this day. So we're driving up. I think it started storming out, like for a little second, like really bad. There was something that also happened with like my stuff that was like not good, but I can't remember that part. The only distinct part I can remember is I'm driving the box to Mankato and my something blows out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We pull into a gas station. There was just something wrong with with my car at the time. But that was the second thing that happened. And I'm freaking out like I have to try to get this car all the way to Mankato like with this. I don't remember how far away we were, but we were more closer to Mankato than home. So then we're like I'm driving less than 40 miles an hour down the highway because my car cannot take it while we're trying to move in. And all of a sudden, I get a phone call. Ring, ring. I answer. And it's Via. And Via's like, girl, there's mold in our apartment. We can't move in. And I'm like, there's what? She's like, there's black mold all over our apartment. We cannot move in. They have to do construction. And I'm like, what? Well, what do you mean? Like, where are we going to sleep? I'm almost to Mankato. Like, I'm hours away. Via's even worse. She's even farther away than I am. So she was like, they're going to put us up in a hotel, blah, blah, blah. So my move-in went from being a 1-day event to like a 2 to 3 day event. And in between that time, it was so funny because me and my family just did the most randomest shit. Like we went to the merch store and everyone got merch and like we built some of my furniture in one of the parking lots.
I remember getting videos of that.
Yeah, there's just videos of me and Mac dancing around to Mamma Mia and like we're like my dad's building furniture with this like metal water bottle because my brother thought he was cool and he bought this metal water bottle from a gas station and he was using it as a hammer. Yeah, it was just like so chaotic. But then eventually everything worked out. But yeah, that was that move. My 2-bedroom apartment wasn't that bad. We got in pretty quick and that apartment was pretty smooth. And then this one was pretty smooth too. But I was actually pretty proud of myself because I pretty much moved like almost everything into this apartment except for a couple big things. And then me and my dad did it. But like it was kind of crazy. Like it was a little scary because at that time I think I was employed. I just haven't started work yet. So I was a little nervous moving out on my own because it was my first time really being away from my friends and most of my friends were all in Mankato. I was really the only one who was moving away at the time. And I felt like kind of the lonely person on the island just because I know they were all hanging out still and doing things, but I was kind of like, I'm not going to be around as much anymore because it's obviously a bigger hassle now to drive all the way down there. So having that shift, like when I first moved into this apartment, I was very alone, like a lot of the time, but I enjoyed learning how to be by myself. It takes a long time to get used to it. But it's like something that I think everyone needs to do at one point. And I'm excited because Payton's going through it right now.
Yeah, I think right now the only hard part is like I genuinely I know a few people who live in Seattle and so like I could go hang out with them, but otherwise I know like 0 people, like not even close by. Like there is not a drive. It is a flight now. If I want to go see someone I already know. So it's going to be an interesting experience. My apartment complex has a lot of events that they do, so that'll be nice. But when it comes to making friends, I'm on a completely new slate.
Yeah, it starts off really hard in the beginning. But then once things start picking up, like school and part-time jobs, I just think there's 2 humps from what I have noticed. There's this first hump of when you're first out and there's nothing going on, right? And you have this hump of like, I could see friends, but you have so much change that it's almost overwhelming to want to do things like that, like to make plans, do all this stuff. Then I think there's an additional hump. And I think once things start picking up, that's when that first hump gets easier, which things come, school, life, work, like all of it. The second hump I feel is you get this, not necessarily an urge, but this like want to branch out. It's like you have to branch out of this like comfortable state you're in. Like, or at least maybe this was just for me. Like, I had friends again in Mankato and all that, but I knew my priorities were changing. I knew that I didn't value the same events or things the way they did, and I knew I wasn't going to be coming back a lot. So I was kind of stuck in the sand of like, okay, how do I meet people with the same priorities in the same situation as me that I could go hang out with? Or even if I don't hang out with them, what events can I go to like branch myself out? Which I had a whole list of adulting things that I'm still trying to crack through. Can we just talk about the amount of shit that you have to figure out once you move to a different spot? Like when you're in your hometown, you have the same old dentist, you have the same old doctor, you have the same old hairdresser. When you move, all of that changes and you have to figure out everything.
It disappears. Yeah.
Like I still have not went to a new hairdresser because I'm too scared. Like I'm too scared to have a botched haircut and it goes so wrong. But like I just didn't realize like even like I had to get a tetanus shot when I first moved because I like scratched myself on this Ranger and it like cut my leg open. And I was like, "Oh my God, I got to go to the doctor. Oh shit. I got to go to the doctor. I got to go to a new doctor. Yeah, I don't have a doctor. I don't have this. I don't have that." Like, holy shit. You're just like, what do I do now? Like, which I recommend doing it early because I still haven't done any of my stuff.
I mean, like, I am definitely a person who, like, I need to have things to do is my biggest thing. I can't just sit around and have nothing. Like, that cannot be my life. So I'm glad that I moved out here early before school and classes start. But I have been here 3 days and I'm already itching for something to do. So, like, there's so many events. I'm going to a few this week. I have all the plans to, like, go and get my driver's license changed. Go and get my license plates changed because everything has to say Washington now. And I'm gonna get all of my other stuff like switched over this week. I think I'm gonna get Jasper scheduled for a vet appointment just so that I can get him in and make sure that he has an account somewhere so that if something happens I can get in. Same with myself. So
Yeah, chili, yeah. All of these things are taking me time to prioritize because you get in your groove and you just don't think about these things. But also, it's like you don't want to.
think about these things.
You like just well, it's better to do that than not. Like I'm
Yeah.
in my situation again. Had to get a tetanus shot and had to go to urgent care or whatever because I didn't have a doctor. Like a lot of these appointments take so long to set up, and I just have not. Like I need to go to the dentist. I need to go to the doctor. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I haven't yet because I still need to get my ID changed.
Do you
It's
still
still
have
Iowa.
an Iowa ID?
Yeah. It's on my to-do list.
Oh my god, Delaney! That's actually legally not okay.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm doing it soon though. I just haven't in a hot minute. When I was living, well, it was fine for a while because it was college, and so that was different. But like
Yeah.
when I moved out on my own, that's when I should have got it done, and I just have not. But it's on my
Yeah.
to-do list.
I would say this move, like the actual moving part was not bad at all. I did hate loading the truck with Jer Bear. That was an appalling experience. My dad, love that man, has no patience and expects you to read his mind. So I would bring out like a box and he'd be like, I don't want that box. And I'd be like, just let me bring them all down then and you tell me where things go and what you want me to do. Well, I don't want you to put that there. Well, good. Thank you for letting me know now that I have placed it. I also slipped down the stairs because I was just wearing socks because I said fuck it to shoes. At that point, I was like walking in and out of the house, and we're like, you don't wear shoes in the house kind of family. And so I was just like, you know what? I'll just wear socks. And I slipped down the stairs, and I think I sprained my ankle. We haven't talked about it since, but it still hurts a little bit.
This is why you gotta get that doctor's appointment.
I'll be fine. I've sprained this ankle so many times. They're not going to be able to do anything about it. But, like, moving all this stuff into the apartment, super easy, super quick. I'm still unpacking. That'll be a process yet. Because, like, this is such a small space, and I gotta find room to put everything. I, quite frankly, don't know how I stored it all in my bedroom. I quite frankly don't know how I did that. So, moving everything in was fine. I don't really think I have any crazy move-in stories. My senior year was also a shit show when it came to moving in to the townhouse.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I don't think I remember this story.
Oh, they were renovating the whole building. And originally, this whole building was a male-only dorm, and they were changing it into a co-ed dorm. I was the first girl to ever live in this dorm, and they didn't have it finished by the time I needed to move in because I was like the head RA for this dorm. So I had to move in, like fully move into a townhouse just to move all my stuff back out. And I wasn't even on like a first floor of a townhouse. I was on the second floor of the townhouse.
Dude, I would hate to move twice. That would honestly irritate me so bad.
I was like, you are paying me to be here. And like, I was like, can I get people to come like help me move my stuff? Because now it's just me. My parents are no longer here. And they were like, no, like, other people are busy. Thank God I had fucking friends around that were like, actually, we'll help you out.
How do you feel like first night, like when your first night in, it wasn't that long ago. Like it was literally 2 days ago. Like how did you feel? Well, I guess it's different because your parents were there, but they weren't there. So I guess I feel like your first night is like when your parents aren't there anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. The first night that I was there was also my birthday, so I was in a weird mental spot. We talked about that last episode, where it's just like, it was my birthday, but didn't feel like my birthday, so that was weird. I also zonked out, just because I was so exhausted from moving everything. But, like, the first night with them gone, there was no stress, there was no fear. It was, wow, I feel right at home.
Did you feel excitement? I think I was so excited that, like, I couldn't sleep the first time I slept alone with Chili in my apartment.
Really?
Yeah, I was, like, so excited. It was, like, I felt like I was having a slumber party, but I, like, wasn't. Like, this was my place. And at that time, I didn't even have a bed. Like, I just had an air mattress.
Yeah. No, I don't know. This has been, like, I have the same bed that I had in my parents' house. Like, I moved that, so, like, it didn't feel any different. Jasper was as snuggly as usual, and I think I watched The Devil Wears Prada.
Hell yeah.
That's been my movie addiction recently. I think it's because I crave to have a job like that.
Oh,
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful to crave to have a job like that, but genuinely, at this point, it's better than not having a job.
To be an assistant to an icon. I've seen a lot of TikToks about people being other people's assistants. Doesn't seem like the worst gig in the world.
Oh, I'm not talking about being an assistant. I'm talking about a job taking up so much of my life that my social life starts to deteriorate. As Delaney is leaning away, trying to hide her face because she knows that that's her.
Yeah, sales definitely takes up a lot of like personal time, but I've gotten a lot better at prioritizing like social things too. And I
You
meet up
have.
with coworkers and I go to like I don't know, I think when things started to get better was when I was like branching myself out there and the first time was so fucking scary. Like I literally was like this is going to be so awkward. Like I'm going to show up, I don't know anybody.
Are you talking about your hot girl walks?
Yeah, I was like, what's even gonna happen? Like, what? I was so nervous. I got in. I was like, the worst thing that could happen. Actually, I kind of psyched myself out. I literally was like, okay, we're just gonna go on 3, and I left the car at 2. I was like, 1, 2. I just walked out of the car because I was like, if I count to 3, I'm not going. So I just like psyched myself out, and I was like, worst thing that could happen is I get a coffee, I go for a walk by myself, and I get steps in for the day, and I just don't talk to anybody, and I get a peaceful walk. All right.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm an extrovert, so it's very hard for me not to talk to people.
Yep. I'm nervous because I'm going to my first ever yoga class tomorrow, I think.
Ooh.
I haven't decided. I'm so nervous. It's one of the ones my apartment complex offers, and I am, like, stressed. I'm like, I want to go, but also,
Do
I
they
am going
provide
to the
mats?
bank tomorrow. Huh?
Do you know if they provide mats?
I have no clue. It doesn't say. I'd have to look at the app. Because my mat drowned in the flood.
Yeah, I'd make sure that you know, or
I know I had my yoga mat for forever, but it drowned. Just like, here's another, like, on topic, but, like, weird thing is, packing and, like, planning what you need to get for your first apartment, like, things that you normally don't have, but, like, should think of, shouldn't think of, stuff like that. Most of the stuff that I had for my apartment drowned when our hometown flooded last year. And so, like, I had a lot of that stuff missing because it had gone disgusting. Like, futon that is just now gone forever. It was destroyed by sewer water. So, but, like, that's been my other thing is realizing, I had, like, planned all this stuff before and now I'm rebuying it because some of it disappeared.
That sucks, honestly, because I was so lucky where I was living in a college apartment for the past 2 years, so I already had, like, my basis, but also, like, there's some things, like, like, one story was I forgot that you need a can opener to eat
God.
tuna. So, this is so dumb. So, what I did was, because I refused to go out and buy one at that moment, I was like, I'll buy it later. Because my dad's philosophy is, like, when you move somewhere, like, you buy things as you go or as needed. Because you don't always need that item until it's really apparent. And this was a can opener. And I think I took a knife that I had.
No.
I took a knife and a hammer. And I, like, chiseled it. Like, I was like, bam, bam, bam. And I got it open. And I sent, like, a Snapchat. And my dad was like, get a fucking can opener. Or get a can opener. And Mac's like, why don't you just use your can opener? I'm like, I don't have one. He's like, just get one. And everyone was, like, blowing up my phone about it. But some things you just don't think about until you really need them.
You still have all your fingers.
Yeah, all 10 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I have them all. But yeah, it was not my best moment. But like little things like that, I just didn't think about. That was like
one of my
story.
favorite memories is I can't remember why we were calling, but I was on the phone with you and you were cooking bacon, and Delaney's like, I have no place to dump this. Like, all of our bowls are dirty. I have nowhere to put this. So she finds an empty Dr. Pepper can and starts cutting it open with a knife. And then I'm like, and this is also topical because then she was like, oh no, maybe don't cut it with a knife. That's dangerous. We'll cut it open with a can opener.
I didn't
And
use a
then
can
she
opener.
couldn't. she struggled so hard to dump the grease into the Dr. Pepper can.
It was a mini can.
That doesn't make it any better,
No,
Delaney.
it was really difficult. I did not know what I was doing with that. And then you taught me that hack with the tinfoil. And then it's changed my
Or
life
the
ever
paper
since.
towel. Yep.
Yeah, I did not know that was a thing. I just was like, I have to put it someplace, but I know Via told me do not dump it in the trash can when it's hot and do not dump it down the garbage disposal.
No.
And she was like, Via normally dumps it outside, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know why. I think it was winter, so I was like, I don't want to go out there and dump this. So then I'm very known for rigging things. Like I like for some odd reason I just like think of the weirdest way to do something, and then I end up doing it that way. I don't know why. This has just been a common occurrence for me. Innovation at its finest. But
Women in STEM.
period. And I wasn't even in STEM.
Also, when we were in Okoboji, we were having so much trouble getting the hammock down because it bent. And so Delaney goes and gets a hammer and she's like hammering it back in as she's yelling women in STEM.
Neither of us are in STEM. But even like, it was so funny. Actually, when I was reading today's notes and I saw your little like message on there, like with a plunger on it, I actually just got rid of. I used to have 2 plungers in my apartment because my dad bought me one, and I took one from the like my personal bathroom to this apartment, and my dad bought me one, and I was like, Dad, I don't need 2 plungers. He's like, just keep it. It's been just sitting here, and I was like, I can't have this thing sit here anymore. Like, this thing has got to go. Like, I do not need multiple plungers. Like, I get it, but I do not need multiple plungers.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't have a plunger.
Honestly, I think it depends on the person, how much toilet paper you use, and how big your shits are.
I've never had to use a plunger ever in my life. I know how to use it, but I've never had to use it. Delaney is doing a
I've had
a
some
lovely
pretty bad.
face.
My family has some interesting bowels. We'll just say that. I have some interesting stories of plunger moments that were not so fun. But yeah, I needed a plunger. Like, that was first priority when I moved in to an apartment. It was so funny too. I forgot about this. Speaking of bowels, literally when we moved into the 4-bedroom, some maintenance man, when they were fixing the mold, left a turd in me and Shaker's I went to go to the bathroom and I was like, Shiku, did you leave this in here? She's like, actually, no, I think Shiku found it. And Shiku was like, Delaney! And I was like, that's not mine. I've been in the hotel this whole time. And she's like, I can't touch it. The maintenance man pooped in the toilet. I can't flush it. It stinks. I'm like,
Oh.
what? So I'm pretty sure I had to go flush it. But yeah, I was like, I wonder if they realize they did this. And I kind of want to leave a note. Just to see when they come back if they're going to be mortified.
Oh my god.
I think I did leave a note, just to be funny.
Please flush the toilets.
Hey, yeah, I get it. If you gotta go, you gotta go. But, like, can you flush it next time?
Yeah.
It was so gross, too. It smelled so bad.
I know. I was going through my stuff, realizing, like, what I did and didn't have. I didn't even think, like, I wrote that down because I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, I don't have a plunger. Out of all things, I lost all of my utensils that you use, like spoons, spatulas, things like that. I lost all of that, so we had to go buy all new that. Luckily I had plates, bowls. I lost all my silverware. I think Caleb stole my silverware. Listen here. I actually was very upset about this, let me tell you. because I lent him some of the silverware I was gifted for, like, going into college. I was like, I don't take all of it with me. Do you want to take the other half of the set? And he did. And I think when he moved out, he just took the rest of the set with him.
I'm not shocked.
I was like, bro, what the fuck? Where did all my silverware go? And my mom was unpacking my boxes and she was like, don't you have silverware? And I was like, I guess not. I guess I gotta go drop some money on this now.
Yeah, it's the pain of dropping money on your first apartment. I mean, again, that's why I think my dad makes the point of like, as you live, you buy things you might need, but like, really, you only need the basics. But if there is one piece of advice, ask around family if they have shit. Like, go look at for things secondhand, especially furniture. Like, I was
Yep.
fortunate enough where a lot of my family members had things they were getting rid of at the time. Like, it was just perfect timing for me when I moved because a lot of my family was getting rid of like old furniture. So like, I got couches from my aunt and uncle who were like who were getting rid of it because they was just in their basement for so long, or like plant stands, or like just like little things. I literally got a dining room table off Facebook Marketplace. Let me tell, when you move, also, how many times are we gonna say let me tell you? I feel like we need a counter. Um when you move, Facebook Marketplace becomes an addiction. Low key.
Oh
I've
god,
gotten
I
addicted
haven't
to
gotten
it.
there yet.
You will. It'll happen. Like I was locked in that app for like, it was like my TikTok for a while. Like I was like, what can I find today? Ooh, do I need this? Do I need this bar cart? Do I need this ottoman? Do I need this whole ass machine? What is it called? Vending machine? Like, do I need this? No. Like, there's the randomest shit on there.
They have an app specifically for my apartment complex, and people have been posting stuff, and there was one who like posted a shoe rack and a mini table, and I screenshotted it because it matches perfectly with my bed and my bookshelves, and I was like, oh mom, would this be perfect? And she immediately goes, no. I was like, okay, I'm glad I asked you for reassurance. No, a lot of my stuff was secondhand. Like, all my pots and pans were my great-grandma's. And they're gorgeous. She, like, never used them. She was a hoarder. But she, like, never used them. So I have those. I have, like, a bunch of unopened Pampered Chef stuff from my great-aunt. I have... I don't know. There's a lot of that, like, my little side table thing was my parents'. So... I don't know. I love thrifting so much. And I think it is so fun. It's a whole adventure in itself. Oh my god. I didn't even think about going to thrift stores here.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch.
There's probably a ton. And I definitely am an advocate for buying secondhand. A, it's better for the environment. B, it's also better on your bank account. But I did have to make an Amazon wish list of things that I need to buy because I don't have a knife set. That was something I didn't even think about. I have knives, but I don't have a knife set to like actually do things with. I have a like wooden cutting board,
Again,
and
I
it's
think
just like, yeah.
you just buy it as you go. I didn't get a knife set, I think, until Christmas. But my dad was like, you don't need a knife set. That's like when you get a house. And I'm like, okay, Dad. But then luckily
That's
my,
not
my
cooking.
grandma had rogue knives just like out and about. And she had a sharpener. So that's all I used. I used two knives that were randomly just out there. One of them, I think most of the handle's broken off of it. So I'm shocked I didn't cut my hand open.
Oh my
But yeah,
god.
it was just like I was just using all my rogue stuff. It was pretty fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's another Jimmy Rigged
Oh
adventure
my
that the lady
god.
went on.
Delaney is gonna get herself injured, is the moral of this story.
I'm still here now.
I don't know. The biggest thing that I'm excited for, nervous about, is like making friends and like connections out here. Because I've been on grad school TikTok for a hot minute, And it has been like, you're not going to make friends in grad school. And I'm like, oh, great. I love that. Love that for me. And I have two jobs, two very, very part-time jobs. And I need more so I'm not broke because it's expensive living out here. But I'm so terrified that I'm just gonna, like, not meet people. And, like, we've kind of already talked about this with, like, the apartment events and, like, going out and doing things. But it's like, genuinely, how do you make friends as an adult? Like, I've made a few, but that's because I was doing community theater. And you find your people through that. But, like, I don't know. How do you make friends is just, like, a wild question that is yet to be answered.
I agree. I mean, for meeting people, it's like, going to events like community theater I have my walking group. I have my mini Minnesota Mingle group. Like, but the thing is, like, I haven't built those relationships. Like, my walking girl group, we've done some things together, but it's not, like, a lot. Like, I haven't, like, built a group of friends outside yet of friends I just haven't established those relationships or haven't given a lot of energy and love to those relationships. And I honestly, it's like up to the person, Like, I mean, it depends how much effort you want to put in, but like I think the only way to start is by getting yourself out there and going to like these scary single events. And honestly, I'm low-key glad TikTok is a thing now because when I first moved by myself, that's how I found out all of these events was TikTok. Yep. Like it was all these girls posting like all of these events and all of these things. They're like, we want to do this, we want to do that. And they're like TikToking about it. And that was the only way I found out like half of the things. And there's still a million other groups that you can go do. Mm-hmm. And some of them cost money and some of them don't. But it's like, you have to do it. Like, otherwise you're just, like, isolated or you're banking on your relationships you've already made. But there's also, like, you don't want to hold yourself back from growing and you don't want to necessarily put a strain on the relationships you have.
Yeah, because they're, like, when I moved back to our hometown, I was like, I'm going to have no friends here. Like, the only people I'm going to have are Delaney when she comes back and Tia and I don't hang out enough, and it was just like, I was so panicked about it, and I was very lucky to meet my dear friend Meredith, who was like, let me include you in this friend group, and that's how I got to know my friends Lael, Shelby, Mike, Meredith's husband Zach. They are all so, like, they became so important to me in such a short time, so I know I don't have to worry about, like, struggling to make friends, because I know I have no issues with that. It's just, like, having to be bold enough to put myself out there again.
For sure. It just takes time. And honestly, again, like, an important skill that, like, I always advocate for is learning how to do things alone and be by yourself. You don't always have to be with friends or, like, I feel like, again, sometimes people can't be by themselves, and I totally
has a booming social life, so she's just like, I'm just gonna be on my own for a little bit.
Well, I think I've always just been like a hyper independent person,
I know,
like
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the most scariest part is learning how to be alone with yourself and go out and do things by yourself. Like going to dinner by yourself and not being on your phone the entire time. Or like going to an event by yourself just because you can. Like, I literally saw a TikTok actually, and this is bringing it back to Stray Kids. I bring them up so much. It was this TikTok, and it was so funny. It was like this girl posted, and she's like, I love how I get social anxiety just from going to the grocery store by myself, but yeah, I'm by myself at a Stray Kids concert surrounded by like a million stays, and I have never felt more at home and welcomed. Aww. And I'm like, that is crazy. But like, doing shit like that, it's gutsy. It takes balls. Like, like if I could go to a concert by myself, that'd be insane. But like also
Yeah.
like I love going to concerts with people, and luckily me and Tia are both like impulse concert buyers. So I have a rock for any event I want to go to. Tia's normally not too far
Always
behind.
ready to go.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's no she normally is already planning on going to an event, and she's just wondering if I am, or if like it's just so funny. It's just we're in sync in that regard. But like
I love it.
it's just like things like that is just so scary to do, which is why I'm so glad we made solo side quests, because it's been nice having that independence thing to rely on and challenge myself with, even though some of the things are things I already do, like go on hot girl walks with Chili or get
Yeah.
out in nature. But like
I need
it
to
just
actually edit and post my videos. Guys, I promise I have been doing the solo side quest. I just haven't been posting the TikToks.
dude,
Here's my
I
biggest problem with doing things by myself. And this is so funny because, like, I always think about my car when I explain this to people. I hate feeling like I'm being watched or, like, being perceived because I feel like I'm always being judged by people. I don't know why, but like my car is the brightest freaking blue on the planet Earth.
it
The
really is.
brightest car. And so people just stare at my car because A, it's a really pretty bright blue, and B, it's a bright blue car. That's literally it. That's more than likely the only reason they're staring at my car. But like I hate the fact that they're staring at my car while I'm driving it. And in my apartment, I kind of explained this last podcast episode, that I have giant windows and people just like peer in, and I'm like, please stop perceiving me. Like, please do not act like I exist. That is my biggest thing, is like, I want to meet people and I would love to be a part of their experience, but I don't need the rest of the world experiencing me. Which is so weird because here we are podcasting, allowing the world to be able to listen to this. But like as soon as somebody looks at me, I'm like, absolutely not. Look the other way.
Yeah, I feel awkward, but I also am the type of person to just stare back. I'm like it is weird. Like, and that's like where the overthinking comes in. You get in your head, but realistically, like, it's like hard because you have to remember, like, do people really care enough to go, oh, or are they just glancing because you're walking into a restaurant by yourself? Like, are they
Yeah.
just, and they're worried about their own shit? Like, it's so
It's
hard not to
definitely
do that, though.
it's definitely everybody else is more too worried about themselves to care what I'm doing.
Yep.
I just don't want you to acknowledge that I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
If you could just pretend I don't exist. I don't know. This is so weird because it's also so very opposite of me. Because I'm very much like the theater kid, give me all your attention. I want to be like a writer and get all of this stuff. But also, when I'm out in public, I'm like, please don't acknowledge me.
Yeah, it's so weird. I sometimes I feel that way if I'm like going out for like the solo side quest for the picnic. I did it, and I felt so weird because so many people were walking by and like looking at me, and they were like, "Is she just like by herself eating this picnic?" And I'm like,
Yes, I am.
it's just munching away. But I love to people watch, so I can't talk at all.
I know. Okay, but here's the other awful thing is when I did my solo side quest where I went to go edit our video and go eat at a restaurant by myself, I wanted to eat at a restaurant by myself. It was a challenge for me. I went to Olive Garden and my server was a girl that I knew from high school, and I was like, kill me now.
Yeah.
Like, I do not exist to you. Please do not acknowledge my existence.
But if you did that in Seattle, you definitely wouldn't run into anyone from high school.
I know, thank God. I'm thinking about going to Pike Place this week and gonna go buy flowers and just walk Pike Place.
Heck yeah, do it. Why not? It's you
I have a
love
whole
that.
list of solo side quests planned for this week, but
I know you're gonna kick my ass in points pretty soon. I'm gonna have to get back to it. I know I'm gonna have a fucking busy week. I know that there's like apps and things too. Like I talked about TikTok, but there's this one actually paying. There's probably stuff in Seattle, but I'm not sure if you have to pay for it or not. But it's called Meetup, and like people like post events on there and stuff.
I have wanted to do Bumble Friends. I don't know if people actually do like meet up with Bumble Friends. I've seen this girl post on TikTok that like she did it and she like they met up immediately, went and hung out, and she figured out if the vibes were good or not. And I've debated about re-downloading Bumble Friends. I want you guys to know, also, we didn't talk about this in the update episode. Payton has already decided Hinge is not for her, and she is not dating from a dating app, just not doing it. You know how you had the intuition thing where you talked about how you felt like your future partner, you weren't gonna meet them in Minnesota?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never gonna meet anybody off of a dating app. And it's not like a hopeless thing where I'm like, oh, nobody meets anybody on a dating app. Absolutely not. It's literally just the fact that, like, I know I'm not going to meet someone who matches my vibe on a dating app because I don't belong on a dating app.
Yeah, I think I low-key got shadow banned.
I'm awful at texting. My students used to actively make fun of me because I wouldn't respond to their text messages. It took me, like, 4 to 5 business days to get back. And it was genuinely because I have no interest texting anybody. If we're going to talk, phone call, video, FaceTime, whatever, don't fucking text me.
I would prefer a text versus a Snapchat any day of the week.
That's valid. I get that.
Yeah, I am just like, but we've already talked about my attention span when it comes to contacting people with my reactions.
Yeah.
We also, like, I know so many of my friends, too, who are going, like, Via's doing so good being in New Hampshire by herself. Like, she loves going to events by herself. Like, she's really, like, locked in on it. And it's so cool to see people growing that way, too. Like, let me just say that.
We're going to have to have Via on to talk about, we have East Coast, West Coast, and Central Time.
Yes, we do.
We'll have to call it. We need someone to be in Mountain Time.
MST.
God.
Tia, get with the program. I'm just kidding.
I know. I don't know. I feel like things go better for me when it's organic.
That's valid. But honestly, what you could do, you should try it and then report back to us in a week.
How side quest.
Yeah, how did it go? I want to try this. There's this new dating app that I saw. It's called Hutch, and it's like based off of a personality matching.
I saw that.
I'm tempted to try it just to see if like it's legit. But I also am like scared. Because it's just another app that I'm like, I don't want to put my information into another app, you know?
That's valid. Oh yeah, there is Meetup.
Yeah, I know a couple people. That's how some of the people found out about like the Mingle Club I'm in Minnesota. But then a lot more people find out from like TikTok, which is like so convenient.
My other thing that I'm really interested about is when I was in college, I think I had a stricter routine with myself because I had so much freedom. And then when I moved home, I like didn't maintain my like super healthy routine that I created in college. And that's something I've been really excited about with living on my own again, is I feel like I have the space to recreate my super specific and routine.
I was doing super good with the routine, and then for some odd reason, like it all just like fell off the bandwagon. Like I was doing yoga in the morning, I was journaling every day. Like I had a strict routine of what I would do in the mornings and at nights, and I lost it. And honestly, like I need to start doing it again because I realized I was so much happier having these things established versus not, and just like having my natural wake up time and then do this, then go to work, and then after work I fucking rot. Like I'm like, And then it's just I'm on TikTok all the time, and I love TikTok. Like I do. I have a very deep
It's
passion
an
for TikTok.
addiction for real.
But yeah, but I'm like, yeah, that's my problem. I'm addicted and I need like I used to read before bed. I used to read in the morning. I used to do all this shit. I used to be a wellness girly. That's why this whole lock in September thing, I'm like, man, maybe I need to partake and lock in September. Like it's
This is
crazy.
why you need to get Focus Friend by Hank Green.
I should. I'm a
It's so cute. It's so fun. Sorry, this is not sponsored. I don't know if I've ever explained my deepest love for Hank Green. There was like, I think it was the first episode or something. Delaney and I were talking about it at one point where it was like, if you could have anybody dead or alive for a dinner, who would it be? If the question was just anybody alive, it's Hank Green in a heartbeat. I love that man with my whole heart and soul. Protect him at all cost. I like, yeah, he is someone I literally adore. So when he posted about his Focus Friend app, I downloaded it immediately, and I use it all the time.
it might be
I
what I
love it
do.
knitting little socks. It's so cute. My bean's name is Barnabean.
Barnaby. Ah,
It's
that's
it's from
adorable.
Bluey. I was watching Bluey that day. Wow, I really sound like a wild person. I was watching Bluey that day
Bluey.
because we had my cousins over and I was watching them, and they were talking about Barnabas, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna name my bean Barnabean.
Barnaby.
Yes. No, I get that though. Like, my biggest thing right now is trying to figure out how to get into a healthy routine, planning things a lot better. But I just got here, so we're also just trying to figure it out.
You have time. Like you literally, yeah. Like don't don't like I know don't do what I did. And I had so many people remind me to do these important things and I procrastinated because I had a lot going on and I just couldn't do it. And also I was scared. But I would say like definitely have the balance between like getting certain things established and then like just figuring it out and on a whim because that's the fun part of it. Let's be real, people. Like the fun part is the unknown. It is so scary for everybody, but like you don't know what day's gonna look like to the next. Routines are great, but like I've loved my last minute adventures. Like, and those develop over time. Like the whole walking thing was a last minute decision. These little things that you're just figuring out and winging, like that's what life is. It's not always this like cookie cutter thing. And I think some people it's like hard because there's all this shit going on and you're like, I have to do this, I have to do that. But just remember like throw a little bit of living in there. Don't forget to breathe. It will all work out in the end, or if it doesn't, you will figure it out. Because I have faith that you can. And you will. It just takes time. It takes time. It's my TED Talk. My TED Talk for the day. Oh, another thing I need to do, budgeting. I used to be so locked in with that, flew out the window. But also I had a lot of things happen with my expenses. So
I'll
that's
send you my Excel sheet.
Did you make it? You
I
made the
didn't make
format
it.
and everything?
I like. I watched someone else make it, and then yeah.
Tried to
I'll
recreate it.
I'll email you the thing.
Yeah, I would love a format. I think I'm gonna be honest, I'm low key like a hand writer when it comes to budgeting, but I think I just need to do something that's quick and Excel I think would be quick.
I have an Excel sheet that I love so much. I made it rainbow because I'm not a financial girly. I'm figuring it out currently. I also, Delaney, you're gonna be so proud of me. I've started investing. Your girl
You
is
did?
investing. Yes.
Ah, I love
Yep.
it. Are you using a company or are you doing it yourself?
A company.
Okay, me too.
I
I'm so proud.
I already have a retirement fund started from when I was working at a hospital. So
Yep.
I have that. I actually have two retirement funds. because they're both at different companies.
I would
And then I
make
started
sure
my
you
own. I'm using an app for investing. So, but yeah,
to
it's a
start.
good
I
time.
would make sure you look into that because you don't want them to expire
I
if you
know,
haven't
I
like
have
checked
looked into
the
it.
company.
I'm good right now. I'm waiting to figure out where I want to transfer them to.
Yeah, because that happened to my mom's. Like all of hers went away because she wasn't working at whatchamacallit anymore. But like, yeah, there's so many things that you just like have to know. And honestly, it's like hard because I feel like you genuinely you learn these skills as you go. Like I have never been a cook. I never really cooked for myself. My dad always cooked for us. Laundry, like all of these small tasks, like I kind of just winged it and figured it out. Or I was shown once and then that was it. Cooking has been like my own little journey, like meal prepping and all of that. Like I've been figuring that out on my own. I had no one to really like I mean my dad taught me how to make mac and cheese, but like all the other stuff I've kind of just I've won, like and if
Yeah.
it works out, it works out. So just like don't be afraid to like just hop in. Dive in.
Cooking is an art, whereas baking is a science. So it's just like cooking takes more practice, baking takes more research. But I'm not a super experienced cook. I think I'm a decent cook. I'm a way better baker than I am a cook. I I was not a neat freak when I lived with my parents because
Same.
I ugh, I think especially moving back, like I was just so over it. But when I was living at college, everything needed to be cleaned up. Like I cleaned Jasper's litter box daily in college because I didn't want that in such a small space. But then when I moved to my parents' house, it was like every 2 or 3 days. And then like dusting, mopping, just leaving stuff around my room when I was at my parents'. And I feel so guilty about that. But here, I'm like, absolutely not. It is driving me crazy right now because my island in the center of my apartment is stacked full of stuff because I'm still unpacking. And I'm like, that cannot be like that forever. I will lose it. I will lose my marbles.
I think, yeah, I don't know how. My dad actually made the first comment about it. He was like, how come your room used to be so messy in high school and blah? I was like, my room was tidy. It just had a lot of shit in it. And I was like, now I just feel
It
like
was not tidy. Do not listen to her.
it wasn't that bad. I just had a lot of items. So there was just a lot of stuff. It was
She had
clutter
a mountain
everywhere.
of clothes in one corner of her room at all times. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
anyway, my dad was like, "How come you're so like neat and tidy when you're now living in your own space and you're so cautious of these things like having lights on, all of these like just the little things." And I'm like, "I don't know, it just feels like a flip is switched and this is all my responsibility now." So now like you just kind of have to do it. And I just like to keep my things nice. I like to keep my things clean, but now I'm starting to understand, I think, the importance. Like literally me and my dad, we didn't get into an argument, but he was like, "You do the dishes at home, why can't you do the dishes here?" And in my mind I'm like, that's a dish, those are dishes for like 4 to 5 people versus one.
I
And
know.
I'm like, "Okay, I get it. I should start pulling my weight when I go home for long periods of time." So I try. I'm learning.
I hate doing dishes. That's probably my least favorite thing. When I marry someone, the deal is I will literally do everything else. I will do anything and everything else. I will cook. I will do the laundry. I will fold and put away your laundry all day, every day. I will vacuum, mop, sweep, whatever. I will clean the fucking toilets with a toothbrush before I wash a dish. That is like the biggest thing. And I have a dishwasher, but also, fun fact, I hate loading the dishwasher. I would rather wash dishes by hand than load and unload a dishwasher.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's so much more convenient with the dishwasher.
I have no clue. I have no clue what is in me and why I hate a dishwasher so much. And I hate being a dishwasher. I think it was just because we didn't have a dishwasher so long in my house because it broke.
Yeah.
And they got a dishwasher while I was away at college, so I was never taught how to like actually load a dishwasher because
I
we
just
didn't
wanted.
have one. And it was like a chore where we had to sit around and wash and dry and put away dishes with my dad that I grew to hate this. I love my father. I hate
You
doing
preface this every time.
I know. I want to make it clear that I love them, but man, do I hate dishes.
I used to
Sorry,
do it was
I got
so
really emotional about that.
yeah, it was yeah, you're very passionate about this topic. I'm the type of person cuz like while I cook I do dishes. And I had a roommate who was the opposite. She would wait for all of them to pile up at the end and then do them. And then it was like 10 times more work because you would use like every dish in the house. That used to drive me nuts. Like I'm like let me keep going, like let's be productive, let's get this going. And yeah, it was so funny. So I hate it when dishes pile up like that and then I have to do it. But if I have a couple, I'm like, but I also am like just load the dishwasher like as you go. Like it's not that hard. But that's just me. I'm not everybody.
Right. What is one thing you wish someone told you before you moved out on your own?
Maybe that just the reassurance of there's two things. One, everything's going to be okay and everything will work out. Things take time. Maybe that's three things. Things take time. They just do. Whether you want to be comfortable like going to an event by yourself or figuring out how to load your dishwasher the right way. Things take time. Um, but also, or I guess this is four things. Don't forget to have fun. And it's scary, but again, everything will work out in the end. Also, make sure you do the important, like, make an adulting checklist and do not procrastinate this stuff because it sucks, like, going back and remembering what all you need to do. So, like, people, make a checklist, go get a new doctor, go get a new vet if you have a pet, go get your dentist done, change your license to the state you live in if you need it, get the license plates. If you need a new credit card, figure that out financially wise. Banking, figure out if you want to bank there or not. I know this is a lot I'm throwing on your guys' plate, but like these are things that you just need to think about. And I did not think about. And I lived in Minnesota for a long time. So yeah, that's my TED Talk. But you got this. I believe in you. We believe in you. Yeah.
Yes. My biggest thing right now is budget, plan, replan, and be okay if it doesn't work out exactly the way you think it should. Life happens. Life sucks sometimes. And not like you should feel hopeless in this. I hoped that I would have a job and everything lined up by the time I got here. And honestly, I'm here and life feels a little bit better now that I'm here. Like, whether everything is figured out right now or not, I feel so much better now that I'm out here. And I got a thing on my co-star the other day, and I have to pull it up. It's actually really sweet, and it said, the main quote is, remember that you always persevere. It was the day that I moved in, that like everything was finishing, and what it says is, stop cataloging what might go wrong and look at what you've already survived. The evidence is clear, you bend, but you don't break. Your past victories weren't accidents. They were all earned through persistence that remains inside of you. You have no choice but to persevere. And genuinely, things may not work out the way you expect them to, but you have no choice but to keep going. And in some way, that is super healing for me. You have no choice but to win. Yeah.
I love that. That's a really good note, really good wrapping up. And here's the thing too, if you're struggling, you have two people who yap, who are who have gone either through the same things or are currently going through a lot of the similar paths right now, just different timelines. We're here for you. We believe in you. We tell all of our funny random stories about things that are going on. And honestly, if it makes you feel better, why don't you guys create a podcast? You could definitely do it. It's been a nice creative outlet, and it's like a great way to like chat with your friends. So, or catch up every now and again and have nice, fun topics. But, or if you just feel like you need a little yapping session, listen to the secrets of the elephant room. Also, I gotta show you my co-star after this.
Reach out to us. Don't be afraid to message us on Instagram, TikTok. We love hearing from you guys, and we would love to hear your moving horror stories, or maybe if you need a little bit of motivation to move to your dream place, we'd love to hear from you. So, reach out to us and kick butt. Well, that's the show, darlings.
Cue the can-can!
Finally, the sushi guy is here.